Welcome back to another Xenoverse2 tutorial. Today we're going to be doing an advanced guide instead of a beginner's kind of guide. Anyone can use this, so it's not just for advanced players. It's kind of just covering some of the stuff I might have missed in the beginner's tutorial, as well as some of the key moves, so some of the strike moves that are really good in the game. Let's see, I'll use Agony for this one. And just going over the different moves and testing them out so that you know which moves are the best moves, what awesome things you can do to be super overpowered, stuff like that. A lot of the moves that I'm going to show you in this tutorial, that's pretty much what the tutorial is going to be about, is about different moves that are really good for NPC battles and the really harder ones where the NPCs spam a lot. Make it impossible to do anything, but they could also be used in PvP if you wish to do so, and probably a couple other cases or whatever. Yeah, so I guess I'll show you when it happens. Alright, one thing I want to mention real quick is if you're level 50, or I forget what the cap is, I think it's level 50, but let's say you can level anymore. In order to get that to go up, you actually have to go, here I'll show you this first, you have to go, I'm assuming by now you can fly, but just in case, you can just use the teleportal, wherever it's gone. It's photo mode. What's the little teleporty dude? Ghost Warning is right over here. Oh, there he is. He just wasn't popping up for a second. You go to him. You go to Guru's house, and you basically just do a whole lot of missions for Guru until you he unlocks your potential. He like rubs your head, and then you get awesomeness. So you basically go to this, you tell him yes, I want to do that stuff for you, and then you basically just battle a bunch of goons and recover Dragon Balls. And you do this like 10-15 times or something, which sounds like a lot, but you'll increase your level cap for this character. I believe that's what it does. And then I think it transfers over to all your characters. If not, you might have to redo it for all characters, but just so that you know, when you get stuck, go to him. I think he also, what he also does is he'll increase the cap for your attributes. Instead of being stuck at 100, he'll allow you to get them to 125, so just keep doing missions until you've unlocked that as well. I believe for that you actually have to, that in particular you have to get that done for each character. I think once you get the level, you can level up all your characters to max level 100, but you will have to go back for other characters to get the breakthrough for the attributes anyway. Just want to mention that real quick. And then also, there's a really fast way to level your character. You might have heard people mention this before, but if you wanted to level your character really fast, we go to the shopping district, whatever that's at. There we go. There's this little green Namekian over here. Apparently not spawning either. There we go. Kusok. And if you can talk to him, he'll ask if you want to boost your power. If you can't talk to him and he just says something like, your time's not ready. Basically what he means is you're going to have to get all the time eggs from all the different areas. In order to do that, I can give a brief description of how exactly to get all the time eggs is, you go to one of the transfer shop clerks, and you're going to need to do a mission for each one of these areas. For Hercule's house, you're gonna go to him. He'll have you do a mission like beat up blah 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 amount of people. You'll go back to him when the mission's done, and he'll give you a reward of some kind, and then he'll not give you any other missions until you do 3 more normal missions. I think it's either 2 or 3 more. I think it's 2 maybe. Guru's the same way. You're gonna have to keep doing him until he gives you the egg. He will only give you a mission, like you can't do his missions over and over sadly, so you're gonna have to go back after you've done a couple parallel quests, like 2 of them I believe is what you need. Majin Buu's house I think is the fastest to do, because all you have to do is feed him lots of food. Just buy lots of food from the item shop. You can buy it from the item shop, and then just feed him until he gets like 4, I think it's like 5 people, and then he'll give you the space egg, or whatever, the time egg, whatever it's called. Frieza is it's not another like Hercules and Gurus. You're gonna have to come back to it after a couple missions, or that's not one of them. So after you get the time egg from Frieza, Majin, Guru, oh yeah, also the Castle Corporation, I skipped over it. You had to do the training with Vegeta. I believe he gives you one as well. And that's the same way with Gurus and Majins. You'll have to come back, well not Majin, but you'll have to come back and he'll give you missions over time. I believe for him, actually, you have to be a certain level for certain things to happen. So that one might be a little bit more constricting. I think you have to get certain level requirements before he'll give you the next mission. So you'll have to wait until you level up a little bit more for that. For Hercules' house, yeah, those ones should just be repeatable after you do 2 quests. Same as Guru and Frieza. So those ones should be pretty easy to get by. Majins will be the easiest. And then if you guys want like a leveling guide so that you can get Capsule Corporation faster, let me know. Other than that, I guess I'll get back to the tutorial. Alright, I have my preset on right now, so that I have literally 0 in the QQ Bang area. That way my clothing doesn't mess up me showing you guys the different damages for the different skills and such. I'm going to be using Ki Blast first, and then I'll go briefly over Strikers as well. Sorry to say that Ki Blast kind of went over in this game. They do more damage overall. There's just more of them. It's just, I guess that's pretty much the way the game is geared now. That's pretty much the way it's been, but just so you guys know, that's going to be mainly Ki Blasts and such that we're going to go cover today. Alright, give me a second. Alright, I guess I should cover over some of the ones that are really, really bad, as well as the ones that are really, really good. That way you don't end up using the bad ones, and so on and so forth. The ones I have on currently aren't terrible, but they could have just been ones that I was testing out. Alright. Okay, well I guess I could bring in one really good one and really bad one to kind of give you a comparison of why they're bad and why they're good. We'll start with Assault Rain. Assault Rain is just really bad. It's just okay. Well, you'll see in a second why I dislike it so much. It's just kind of annoying to use. I think this is the one that you have to be right above them or something like that. Okay, and the next one that I do like, I'll bring in is I guess I'll do Hell's Flash if I can find it. Alright, I'm gonna have Trunks as my testing dummy. He's gonna take a lot of damage today. Yeah, Trunks isn't gonna know it's gonna destroy him. Alright, so Assault Rain does around 5k damage-ish, but it's kind of not always when it comes to Assault Rain. That's one of the reasons why I don't like it. I'll kind of show you what I mean. You do this cool animation, which looks really, really nice, and then you look at the damage bar. I did a little bit more that time, so it's like yeah, 5.5 or 5,500, 5,600-ish. So that's not bad, but there's no guarantee that you'll actually attack them with it or hit them with it, just because it goes all around, as you can see. It kind of just hits everything all in the circle, and it's not as powerful as like a direct hit would be, or a direct move. I mean, it does have its own uses, I guess, for certain circumstances. Let's say you need like a good crowd control or something crazy like that. I guess it could be used for certain occasions like that, but overall, when it comes to DPS, which is what this tutorial is about, it just doesn't meet as well. So Hell's Flash, if I can remember how to use it properly, I just take off my arms, and I'm just straight out wail on the dude. And as you can see, I'm pretty sure it only took 3 bars out of all the bars I had. So let's see. Yeah, it only takes 3 bars. And it did 10k damage. So as you can already tell, it's much better when it comes to damage than Assault Rain is already, doing the 3, and with just doing 3 bars as well. The only problem with this one, Hell's Flash, it does leave you a little bit vulnerable to start off, which doesn't make it super great, but if you can pull it off, it's super painful and super good. I'll kind of go over how to get these Hell's Flash and all the other ones I'll be covering that are really good anyway. I probably won't show you how to get all of the ones I show you, just the ones that I enjoy using that are really good. Kind of go over where to get them, how to get them, that kind of deal, and so on and so forth. Alright, I guess I'll cut to showing you 2 new ones. Alright, now I have 2 new moves equipped. I have Prominence Flash, and Gigantic Meteor. These 2 are really good when it comes to damage as well, almost as good as Hell's Flash, doing around 10k-ish damage each. Gigantic Meteor, I believe, is a little bit more unpractical, meaning that it's not as easy to use, I guess, as some other moves would be. And I kind of like to at least note that to begin with, that some of them aren't as easy to use as others. Prominence Flash, as long as the target's in front of you and you line them up, you can do up to, wow, that's only doing like 8,600. Maybe I didn't have a full bar. Let me check. Might be one of those that needs a full bar. Yep, that's it. Yep. Wow, yeah, that's a lot of good damage. Gigantic Meteor. This one's gonna be a little bit hard to hit, but if you do hit it, it does some really good damage. If you go into combo damage, it's doing up to 12k. That's like super crazy. The only thing that you have to worry about, like I said, is actually hitting the target. Sometimes the target's not going to be standing still, you know what I mean? They're going to be wiggling around, trying to escape whatever destruction you're throwing at them. But if you can land it, that's a lot of damage, so... Alright, I'll go to my next 2. Alright, here I am, once again, fighting Trunks. He's not going to be happy with the plate of food I'm going to dish out to him. But, now we have Super Electric Strike and Super Vanishing Ball. Both of these are probably pretty top on my favorites list. Just because not only do they look cool, they do decent damage. Super Electric Strike doesn't do as much as Super Vanishing anyway, or on the scale of doing a lot. It's not as high up there as the other ones. Like it won't do 10k. Something like that, but it is pretty cool, like I said, and I've used it quite often, and it's probably one of my favorites just because of the look of it, as well as the damage. It's not bad. Oh, it did do 10k. I'll have to update my update my list. Alright, yeah, sorry if some of my numbers don't line up exactly, but I'm glad I'm testing them for you guys, that way you can see them. It's just, I created a list of all the moves and their base DPSs, but it looks like I've gotten a little bit more on this one. I'm actually pretty happy about that though, so you can definitely see that Electric Strike is definitely something to go for. The only thing that you have to worry about, if anything, is that then if they go upwards or downwards when you go to throw that, it's probably not going to hit them. I think it's a little bit, it's not like terrible to aim because it is pretty big, but it's not the easiest thing to hit with, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Alright, next is the Super Vanishing Ball. This is actually one of my favorite moves. I like to use this one a lot, just because it not only does it track the enemy, it does a decent amount of damage. Like, that's not bad. Not bad at all. Doesn't take long to cast or anything like that, and you got yourself like 10,000 damage. That's not bad for a 3 key move. And most of the ones I'm actually going to mention only take 3 key bars, which is insane when you think about it. You know what I mean? For the damage it's doing, 10k, that's crazy for that. And if you were to do Super Vegeta 2 or Super Saiyan God mode, I don't use God mode. I have a build for it so that it doesn't waste my key bar and such, but I just think it's too frustrating to have to balance staying above the key or having it not drain with a super soul, such stuff like that. You can do that with the super soul and get your God mode balance and such. And if you want me to do a tutorial on that, well, that'd be really quick. I can do that, but It's not my favorite one. I like Super Vegeta too, because the percentage differences to me aren't really worth it. Alright, I guess I'll skip to my next two. Alright, we're back fighting Trunks again, and we have Super Spirit Bomb and Gigantic Roar. Gigantic Roar being, I know this is gonna sound crazy, because a lot of people like spamming Gigantic Roar. It looks cool, it does a certain amount of damage instantaneously, so it's not like a beam where it hits them over time. It hits them and it does that damage, so that's why it makes it really nice. But its overall DPS, at least last time I tested it, let me test it again to make sure that I'm not about to eat my words. Yeah, it does 9k damage, and look at how many bars it's taken up from you. It's in my opinion, that's quite a bit for a move. In my opinion, it's let's see, Gigantic Roar is taking up 5 of your key bars, and it's only doing the 9k. It's not really my favorite in that sense, but like I said before, let's say you were doing the Gigantic Roar and somebody passed in front of it or something, they wouldn't just take partial damage, they take the full damage, which is really nice about it. But I just can't take the drain. At least I don't like the drain of 5 key bars. It's not my favorite. The next thing is Super Spirit Bomb. This is actually my favorite move. I really like this one. Not only can NPCs not stand break you while you're doing it, they can still punch you and kick you, and it really hurts when they do. But this is a really good move to do. Let's say you were fighting an NPC on like insane mode or like crazy hard difficulty, and he was just trying to kill you and murder your face off and such. You could just hit Super Spirit Bomb once you get like a free frame, or when you're not getting thrown about by the craziness, and they won't be able to stop you from doing it basically. And then once they've been hit by the Spirit Bomb, they're kind of like in a freeze frame where they're getting smacked around. And that will give you time to charge your key back up and then do another one or do a different type of move, and that in my opinion helps a lot with dealing with the NPCs. It's one of my favorite moves anyway. Alright, and I think that kind of concludes all the really good ones. I can go over some more of the bad ones briefly and give you the stats on them as far as I know. There is one more honorable mention. Super Gatlic Gun is actually good as well. It's not that I didn't want to show you, well I guess I could show it to you guys, but it's not that it's bad, it's just that it takes a while to charge for it to actually be worth it, and by the time that it's charged, it'll, normally you get stand broken, or it's just, like if you can pull it off, it does a decent amount of damage, is what I'm saying, but it's not worth it for how long the delay is to get there. Basically what I'm trying to get that far, not worth it. The worst moves. Alright, I figured I could just go over them briefly, and I don't have to show you how bad they are individually. You can try them out yourself if you want to confirm how bad they are, and I guess in the comments, if you find out that they have a little bit more damage, or they're not as crappy as I initially found out, let me know. But I mean, like I said, they're not all, it's not like they're terrible, it's just that either the damage is low, or they're impractical to use, something or the other when it comes to that. Full Power Energy Blast Volley is just bad. It's just really bad. It does around 3k damage in relativity of the 10k we were getting before from the normal 3k keys. Also, these numbers that I've been using for like getting 10k damage and such, they may also vary a little bit or a little bit less, just because your level also increases your damage to an extent, to a small percentage, so you might not get exactly the same numbers that I have on my character, but since I've zeroed out my QQ, I shouldn't have any bonuses that should interfere if you were my same level. Moving on, like I said, Full Power Energy Blast Volley is just really bad. Don't use it unless you really have to, I guess. There's another one. The next one I want to find is Deadened Bullet. It's just bad because it does decent damage like the other ones. It's like I think it's like around 9k, but it's just so impractical to use because your character, the person that you're attacking with, has to be right in front of you, and then I believe you jump up and you shoot below you. So unless there's a person right below you, when you're doing it, it's not really, it's just impractical. It's not as easy to use as the other moves would be, and I kind of like practicality or easy to use moves better than special case moves, because you know they're easier to use in like every case, whereas Dead End Bullet would be like only for that reason. You know what I mean? Like you'd only use it for that exact reason. All right, next is Heat Dome Attack. Yeah, this is another impractical one. As well as the damage on it kind of varies per hit depending on how much they've actually gotten hit by it. So stay away from this one for sure. It does like 8k damage if you can get like a full hit on him, or 9k-ish, something like that. But it's just impractical. I believe it, instead of shooting forward, it shoots upwards. So unless the person's right in front of you, it's not gonna really, it's just gonna be impractical. It's another one of those things that is not something I would enjoy using very long. I think the next one's Meteor Burst, if I can find it. Fire faster. I don't know. I think this one was just like, it's not that it's bad in damage. It just is kind of, it's another impractical one where it's hard to use. I don't remember exactly why it's hard to use. This one in particular, I have it on my my list. I have like a whole entire spreadsheet for this stuff, but it's on my impractical use. So I guess you could try it out and see why it's kind of impractical. But I think it's something you should avoid. Normally, it does like decent damage, I guess, but it's just another thing you want to avoid. Alright, let's see. God Punisher is another one. Rush towards your enemy, hit them with a Ki Blast, and bar them with a Fury Blast. Oh yeah, this is the one that is easy to get out of, I believe. It looks cool, but it does it takes 4 key bars, and it doesn't do as much damage as like some of the 3 key ones that I showed you. So I wouldn't use that. Ribrianne's Eternal Love, just no, don't use it. It does like 5k damage, and yeah, it's just no good. Spirit Ball, I don't use that either. If I can find it. Well, I don't really need to find it. I can just tell you which ones not to use. It's somewhere around here, but Spirit Ball is another one. It's kind of bad to you because it only does 800 damage. Is that right? I don't know. If it does 800 damage, then I'm gonna be pretty impressed. But that's what it says on my chart. From when I did like up to 52 different moves. Wow, on my list that I basically went and I used every single move, and then I calculated how much damage they did. I put down how many bars they used, how much damage they would do in Super Saiyan, Vegeta 2, and God Mode, that kind of deal. So I kind of get a brief understanding of how powerful they can become, so on and so forth. All the ones I did cover for the good ones are really good if you power them up, like I said, with Super Saiyan, God Mode, God Super Saiyan, or Super Vegeta 2. Both of those are really good to use when you're using Striker stuff. Alright, I guess I should cover a few of the ultimates for Striker builds. Striker builds, none of them are really impressive, I guess. You're not going to get that many that do 10k, and if you do, they're going to take out your whole bar. Like Power Rush, probably the strongest move in the game, question mark. It's really close, but it does like 10, it takes out 10 of your bars and gives you around 13,000 damage. So it's really good, but like I said, 10 bars, so not my favorite. And then I guess I could show you the ones I like to use, even though they're like, all these are kind of bleh, honestly. They do the maximum damage that some of the 3 ones do is around like 7k, which is kind of sad when you think about it. And this is based off of a level 50 striker without any QQ banks, is what I found anyway. It might differ, they might have buffed 1 or 2, like I said, since then, but as you can tell, there aren't that many striker skills. I might not have all of them, but in comparison to the ones I have for Ki Blast, just by doing the same stuff that I would do for the striker builds, striker stuff, it's definitely a difference in having a lot. Divine Lasso is nice because I don't know, it's just like a really cool move, and I think it's inescapable once you hit them the first time, so that's a really good one. Instant Severance looks really, really cool. I don't think it's the highest damage one, but I mean, if you want to look really cool, then definitely use it. It's also a little bit harder to use because you fly towards them and then you slash down, so that's kind of alright. Spirit Sword, it's just a little, it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of hard to use because you basically get a weapon that's a Spirit Sword, and then you start running around until your ki depletes, smacking people with it. It's just not my favorite. If you were going to do a ki build though, and you had the ones that I have here, the ones I would recommend using, Burning Strike's pretty good. It's not bad. You do like a bunch of cool moves when you do Burning Strike. And then Secret Poison's not bad if you use it on like bosses and such. Any poison moves are good for big bosses. Blue Hurricane's alright when it comes to destroying the apes. But that's pretty much the only thing you'd want to use it for, really, though. It like will mess them up. Blue Hurricane will. You could also use Spirit Bombs on them, but you know, Blue Hurricane just looks cool. So you could use Spirit Bomb. I mean, Blue Hurricane for that. Yeah, that's pretty much it for moves for Striker. Like I said, none of them really have really high DPS as far as I know. There might be ones I'm missing or that I don't know about that do better at their job, but in general, Ki Blasts do like so much more and for so much less. And I'm also going to kind of cover the fact that if I didn't mention something and in this list, it's not because it's bad or if it's not good. Like I went over the ones that are really bad, obviously, and it's mainly because I felt like they were either too much cost for what they gave you, or it's just not worth wasting that much ki for it or something like that. Because if you can do 10k with 3 bars, then with the 10 bars you should be doing a lot more than that, is what I'm kind of going off of, you know what I mean? So if something does like 16k at 10 bars, taking like Death Beam might, Emperor's Death Beam, it's really good. That's really good, but it's also wasting your whole ki bar, and I definitely recommend using Emperor's Death Beam, by the way. It's another really good one, but like I said, it wastes your whole ki bar, and I would only use it for certain cases, like fighting crystal raid bosses, because it gives you an invincibility period, which is really nice. You can get this at the CP shop on, I don't know, whenever the week refreshes and it's offered there. So that's how you get that one. I guess I'll go over the one how you get the different moves for the different ones. Alright, so my favorite, I guess I'll show you, is the Super Spirit Bomb. Your portal thing might not be over here initially, but for Super Spirit Bomb, it's one of these missions. I'll just show you where it's at real quick. Super Spirit Bomb, yeah, it's mission number 16. So if you can get up to 16 in expert missions, this is a must get. It's really, really good. There's Blue Hurricane, pretty cool. Yeah, you get a couple ones. I'm gonna go through all these just to make sure that Shocking Death Ball. I don't think that was, yeah, it was Super Vanishing Ball is one I really like. Angry Explosions. Angry Explosion's alright, but like I said, it takes it takes 10 of your ki bars, like all of it. Super Electric Strike, that one was pretty good. I like that one. So you can get that one on 11. Assault Rain, not so good. Deadly Bullet, not so good. Supernova is pretty good. I like it, but like I said, it's one of those that does 10k-ish, but it takes 5 bars instead of 3, so I don't use it anymore. I used to use it all the time. I used to use Cooler Supernova because it's a bit faster, I think. Destructor Disc, Super Destructor Disc is a good super. I don't know if I was calling these ones super, they're actually called Ultimates, my bad. But yeah, this is a good regular move. I think that's all the ones for expert missions anyway. Alright, the rest of the ones I kind of mentioned will be found in different PQ quests. I believe most of them, if not all of them, oh, this is online versus. Oh, it's the wrong one. Give me a second. Alright. Most of the ones, the other ones I mentioned will be under PQs, and if they're not under PQs, they'll probably be from a master. Let me look through my list real quick so I can find the correct ones. A couple of these might be on the list of DLC list. Of course, like the ones I mentioned in the expert missions, you can still get those ones. DLC ones are just like a bonus if you have them. For like Prominence Flash, if you have the DLC, is really good. Eternal Love, not so much. Gigantic Roars on 132 if you have the DLC. It's, like I said, one shot, does damage, but not my favorite. Purification. Oh, this one, I don't know if I didn't mention this one in it, but Divine Wrath Purification. It's pretty good when you're fighting Great Apes. This is like it'd probably be one of the only reasons to use it, is for Great Apes. So if you're just like farming Great Apes, then use this move. Divine Wrath Purification just like wipes them out, like instantly, almost. It's so good. I wouldn't use it on normal people. I mean, you can, but it just won't do as much damage because there isn't as much of a hit area for people as there is a giant Great Ape. Alright. There's one you can get, Hell's Flash. I believe you get from Androids, was it 16? Yeah, he's right over here. You grab it from him, you just gotta train with him until you get Hell's Flash. Yeah, I believe it's right here, Hell's Flash, so if you want Hell's Flash, that's where you get from him. Gigantic Meteor. I don't remember, I think that's one of the moves that you get from the thing. You'll have to look that one up. Like, I don't remember where you get that one. See, we already went through that. Yeah, I think I showed you all the other ones, though. That's pretty cool. Any of the other moves that I mentioned, but couldn't find the location of, I might have gotten from the CP shop over here. If you don't want to, is this it? Oh, this is it, right? The TP shop, my bad. I keep calling it CP. Under skills, I have a lot of them, so you're not gonna see all of them, but you can definitely get a lot of them, if not all of the really good ones here. So if you can't find it in any other location, I'd recommend looking at the TP shop, saving up TPs, doing expert missions, and buying it here. And that's pretty much it for my tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get to use these moves out. That's pretty much all this tutorial was really about, was getting really good ultimates. That way you can upgrade what your damage is, be a little bit more convenient for you guys, and hopefully it helps. I guess I'll see you in the next video.